Hey y'all, Rick Sky here, and I want to share my non-political opinion regarding states reopening too soon and why I feel that's the case. So, this pandemic that we've all dealt with is very tiresome, and it's a big mental game. You gotta readjust from what you felt in the past was normal to the new temporary normal. And I say temporary. Temporary is an important word. Temporary implies that this shouldn't last. Now, unfortunately, the only way to better ensure that this shouldn't last is to have a few months. I mean, maybe even 4, 5, 6 months. I have no idea. I'm not a doctor, but have as many months as necessary where people quarantine to prevent the spread of this virus and to more quickly inoculate the virus. And what's happening, again, not going to get into politics, but what's happening is that we're seeing the product of a lot of people that maybe they're socialites and they're used to going out and socializing with a bunch of people and going out to eat a lot, this, that, and the other. We've got people that just can't mentally handle the quarantine. Now, there's ways to get out of quarantine, like I am right now, in a safe location and socially distanced, this, that, and the other. I mean, there's ways to do it and not have to, not have to stay confined in that same room or house or apartment or whatever. But what's happened is that people have become impatient. And as a result of becoming stir crazy while in their quarantine, they've got to think, oh, well, this isn't a big deal after all. And they've fallen victim to something called machoism. And machoism is basically people feel that they're invincible. So the fact that people have been quarantined for so long, mentally they can't deal with it effectively. So then they develop this machoism, and they want to get out and they want to rush out and start normal life again. And the reality is that if people do that, it's going to amplify the spread of the virus, and then we're going to be in a worse spot than we are right now. So the best thing to do is, stay home, don't interact with others. If you do have to get out, obviously be vigilant. Have your mask, be aware of what you touch, thoroughly wash your hands, change your clothes, take your shoes off before you enter your quarantine again. I mean, be hyper vigilant about this, because that's the only way that we're going to expedite the inoculation of this. And it really pains me to see that there's so many people that are rushing to reopen, and I understand the economic repercussions, but think about this. Would you rather have a business that had, let's say hypothetically 3 or 4 months worth of losses versus 12 or maybe 24 months? See what can happen here if governmental bodies rush and force people back out of quarantine. What's going to happen is that this is going to prolong this. So it's going to be a prolonged bleed versus a very not short, but shorter duration bleed. So from my perspective, taking politics out of it completely, and I am an entrepreneur and I'm a capitalist, and I understand the value of money, making money, growing businesses, this, that, and the other. But I also am an advocate of health before wealth, meaning that, if you're not healthy, doesn't matter how much money you have or you don't have. If you're not healthy, nothing else really matters. And, not to get into the statistics and this, that, and the other about this, the reality is that a virus does exist and that a virus does kill people. How many people, that's to be disputed. But it's nothing to toy with, and it's something we need to work as a world to come together and inoculate this virus more quickly. And it's not going to happen unless we all get together, and that's the problem we're facing now. We've just got, we're setting ourselves up as a world to make this a slow and painful bleed versus a quick and painful bleed. So, I would rather just, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for 3, 4, 5 months, whatever, but not stretch it out for multiple years. And what's happening now, in my professional opinion, again, I'm not a doctor, but in my professional opinion, is that what's happening now is that people are becoming stir crazy, they've developed machoism, and they are wanting to get out prematurely. And keep in mind, even if that person may be completely healthy, and even they may, if they catch it, it doesn't even faze them. Maybe they get a runny nose or a fever or whatever, and then they're fine. It's not them, it's everybody else that matters. You've got people with pre-existing conditions like cancer. You've got people with, that are older. You've got people with weakened immune systems. There's a lot of people that are at higher risk. So the act of that person that may be perfectly healthy and not even exhibit severe symptoms, that person could potentially infect multiple people, and then those multiple people could infect more people. See how this spider webs? And I'm not trying to fear monger. You know, I'm not the media. The media are all about fear mongering. All I'm trying to do is just state what I feel is common sense without talking about political party X, Y, or Z. I'm just trying to state what I feel is common sense, why I feel what's happening is happening, and you know what's the best thing for people to do. And again, you know, it's that quick bleed versus the slow and you know, more painful prolonged bleed. Tell me what you think within the comment section below, and tell me why you feel that way. And be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IRICSky. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. And ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Hey y'all, Captain IRICSky here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IRICSky. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.